Ever think about how we teach? What about who we teach? If you answered no, I applaud your honesty, and I'll be honest too. For a long time, I didn't either. Hi, I'm Katie Green. I'm interested in how the structure of a learning environment impacts perceived and actual academic achievement in college students. I'm especially interested in universal design for learning and how UDL-aligned practices may enhance those learning environments, and subsequently, the experience and educational achievement of diverse learners. UDL has 3 core principles: multiple means of engagement, multiple means of representation, and multiple means of expression. Universal design for learning developed out of fields like architecture and product design, which employed universal design techniques in physical spaces to address accessibility and equity needs at the design stage and improve access not only for those with disabilities, but for a range of people. The classic example of this is curb cuts. Curb cuts made it possible for people in wheelchairs to navigate sidewalks more easily, but an able-bodied person pushing a stroller, for example, is also having a better experience. UDL evolved with the goal of applying this basic concept to teaching and learning spaces. It's often thought of in the context of students with disabilities, particularly invisible disabilities like learning disabilities, but like the curb cuts, it could also improve learning access for other students too. For example, there's been some recent literature about its use for students whose first language isn't English. During the practicum for my master's in education, I partnered with an instructional designer at Emory to develop the resources for reimagining our approach to student-centered teaching practices from the most foundational levels. Over the course of this experience, I designed and built a course in Canvas, Emory's LMS, to be used as a resource hub for university faculty seeking to implement UDL practices in their classes. That experience got me thinking about how we teach, who we teach, and who we aren't teaching effectively. Our universities are only getting more diverse. The average undergraduate student may be part-time or full-time, and depending on the institution and their full-time or part-time status, which you wouldn't necessarily know just from having them in class, could be under 25 or over 35. So what am I getting at here? Basically, the makeup of our classrooms has changed significantly, but our teaching methods have largely stayed the same. Consequently, student persistence, retention, and degree attainment are a significant problem for most colleges and universities. There's naturally a ton of debate on how best to improve, but there's a preponderance of evidence suggesting current instructional practices are insufficient for many populations of learners, which is an increasing problem given how many populations of learners we're now trying to teach. There's very little empirical support of UDL in practice. I have a hunch, though, that these practices could be game-changing for some students, so I want to see if I'm right. Can UDL-aligned teaching practices improve our learning environments? Stay tuned!